Alright, as I'm sure everyone knows at this point, GTA 6 is finally on the way. The trailer was the biggest video on YouTube, despite the leaks. Now, I played a lot of GTA 5. I have a good 300 hours in the game, which, considering the game is over 10 years old, that's not that many. But I got the game late, like in 2020. I was late to this game, okay? GTA was always so fun, primarily for screwing around with friends online. So, after reminiscing about GTA 5, that got me thinking about the other GTA games. And so I thought that it's my duty to make a video about the best game in the entire series, the B one. Yes, in case you didn't know, in 2007, Rockstar Games actually released a spin-off of the GTA series, wherein you play as a bee. The spin-off, of course, is incredibly similar to the mainline series, with the main differences being that everything takes place in a beehive rather than a city. Like in Grand Theft Auto, you can buy cars, steal cars, holding the driver at gunpoint of course, do jobs to save up money, get into gang shootouts, customize your character, all while completing the main story. Okay, yeah, it's the B-movie game. You like that clickbait? Got you. I had planned to talk about this in a future video covering a bunch of DreamWorks games, much like some of my previous videos, but after replaying it, I decided it deserved its own video. First things first, the game came in multiple forms. The one that people are most likely familiar with is the version I'm playing. This version was released for PS2, PS3, PC, and Xbox 360, but there were also ports for Nintendo consoles, the DS and a Wii version. Apparently, the B-movie game was just too much for the Wii to handle. Like with most tie-ins, the B-movie game follows the story of the movie, but it tells it from an interesting point of view. Rather than simply playing through the movie, this game technically takes place after the events of the film. The story mode missions are actually Barry retelling the story of what happened on the news. Not that this makes any difference in the gameplay, but it's an interesting addition. The story mode itself is fine, just has some weird controls. Since you're a bee, you fly. The controls really take some getting used to, and honestly I never fully mastered the flying mechanics, but it works fine enough. Oh yeah, and like in GTA, Barry is strapped up. Yes, Barry carries a gun with him throughout the story mode, which you use to shoot other bugs. Okay, maybe gun isn't the right word to use. The game generously refers to your gun as a pollinator. And yes, you do pollinate flowers with it, but you also shoot people with it. The gun recharges when you collect pollen from flowers. From there, you can either spread the collected pollen to dead flowers, or shoot pollen like a lock-on missile. This thing can be used in war against people with seasonal allergies. Side note, I used to love the sound that plays when you extract pollen. Just like listen to this. It's such a weird noise. I don't know how to describe it, but like, as a kid, I thought it was very satisfying. Was that just me? Was I a weird kid? To find flowers that are over or under pollinated, you can switch into bee vision, which will outline things you can interact with. Aside from spreading your bee juice onto your enemies, there are also plenty of QuickTime events, like any good game should have. But you know what? I'm glad they're here because the animations in this game are nuts. You gotta understand, I played the 360 version growing up. The 360 and PS3 versions were the original versions of the game, and the PS2 and PC versions were downgraded ports. On my recent playthrough, I played the PS2 version, not knowing these were downgraded ports though. The base game is the exact same, but holy crap, these graphics are something else. I can't even complain. It's just so funny watching the characters move around. The story mode also contains many segments wherein you need to fly through rain. Of course, as the great Jerry Seinfeld once said,
"Can't fly in rain. Can't fly in rain. Can't fly in rain."
Now the reason I bring this up is because apparently bees are fast enough to dodge raindrops as they fall. I'm talking so fast that in their vision, the drops move in slow motion, like it's the Flash. Barry B. Benson, more like Barry Allen. Get it? Cause like, they have the same first name. I love ruining jokes by explaining them. That's pretty much everything you gotta know about the story mode. I mean, there's more, but honestly, none of it's that interesting. There's plenty of segments where you take pictures of stuff. Do you want to hear about that? No, you don't. If you've played this game though, then you know that no one actually plays a story mode. We're here for the open world mode. Yes, a massive part of the B-movie game takes place in the Hive, which acts like an open world. This is where, as previously mentioned, you can buy cars, do jobs, customize your character, and so on. When I was younger, I never touched the story mode. I would just walk around and explore for hours, and my parents would go insane having to listen to the same song play on loop while I made zero progress. In fairness, there's actually a very good amount of stuff to do around the Hive. There's multiple types of jobs you can do to save up money and to buy random bullshit. Actually, there's a lot of jobs in this game. A lot more than in Ontario anyway. So let's quickly rapid fire through some of them. Mechanic. This is basically just non-stop QuickTime events as you fix the engines of cars. Also, I gotta say, I'm not sure how these cars are running. I mean, I don't know that much about engines, but I at least know they shouldn't look like that. Pizza delivery. You deliver pizza across the Hive and have to balance the pizza on your bike using the triggers or else they'll fall off. It took me a very long time to realize that you could use the triggers to balance a pizza though, so I would just drive really slowly. Yes, I'm stupid, I'm aware. Taxi driver. Pick up your customer, drive them where they want to go, and do it before the time runs out. Pretty simple, pretty boring and repetitive, like any job, I guess. Racing. Oh, when B street race, they get paid for it and they consider it a job. When I street race, I get my license revoked and charged for running over a single mother. That was a joke. I drive very safely. Please drive responsibly. Wear a seatbelt. Honeycomb collector. Pieces of honeycomb fall down this pachinko board and you move the bucket at the bottom around to catch the golden pieces and avoid the rotten pieces. Easy enough, but it's really slow and gets pretty boring. Magnet crane operator. Pick up tanks of honey from these delivery trucks and time it so you don't miss any trucks as they come faster and faster. Honey drafter. Fill up these empty vats of honey and reload your honey between rounds. This one's really simple. Actually, you know what? They're all really simple, but it's nice that they're here. Also, despite how simple all these jobs are, they all become somewhat challenging as you progress, which is nice to see in a kid's game. Well, maybe they're not that challenging. I might just be really bad at video games. Aside from the jobs, there's also arcade games that you can unlock to play. B variants of popular arcade games such as Frogger can be played, which is certainly a cool addition. And honestly, that's pretty much the entire B-movie game. I mean, there's probably more to talk about, but you know what? If you want to see it all, go play it yourself. It's worth it. This is one of the games that, upon replaying, I didn't want to blow my brains out afterwards. That's a good sign in my eyes. Solid 7 out of 10 game.